Behind the Brands is a really important new Oxfam campaign seeking to shed light on the practices of the 10 biggest food companies in the world. It looks at them against a range of criteria: how they approach gender, how they approach land, how they approach workers' rights, a whole range of different criteria, 7. And it looks at the 10 companies against a total of nearly 300 different criteria. It then scores those companies, and the idea is to focus attention on which companies are doing well and where they're not doing so well. We published it about 6 months ago, and since then we've been lobbying those companies to improve their policies in many of these areas, and some already have. So some of the scores are rising because companies are responding to public pressure to act in a way that sets out really clear policies on how will they acquire land, how will they treat women workers, how will they support smallholders, how will they support the labour force, where do they get their water from, how sustainable is it, and what does it mean for the local community. So the full details of the report are available on behindthebrands.org. This is just a summary paper, but people can find out the detail of how we compile the index and how we're using it, and most importantly what changes are happening as a result of it, going onto that website. Oxfam and FAO share aims. We want to see people go to bed with a full stomach, not a hungry one. We want to see families grow healthy. We want to see land fairly used. But we want to see development, we want to see markets work, but we want to see them work for the poor. So in terms of our aims, they're very similar. What we've just been beginning to explore today is what are the next steps in a partnership that helps us work together. And I think there are some global issues, such as collaborating on research and reports, and there are some issues which will make more sense at country or regional level, and we'll continue to explore those now. More importantly, we'll encourage our colleagues in FAO and Oxfam to be talking about them. Oxfam has certainly been working in a world where we've got less money to spend. So institutional, international donors continue to support us, but to raise money from the British public gets harder and harder. So we've had to make some choices, which has reduced the size of our headquarters quite substantially, and will invest more money in the programs in the countries that we work. So first we have to balance our budget, and then we have to invest it in those places where we can think it makes the most difference. We've always tried to balance between what we do ourselves, how we share the knowledge, and how we influence others to change. Probably we have to rebalance that slightly, recognise we can do a little bit less ourselves in terms of programs on the ground, but we can do much more in terms of sharing that learning and seeking to influence governments, the sorts of companies that we've just been talking about, and international organisations to work most effectively.